The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I am Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on in the towns and villages that we cover. This week we'll be starting off with Tim Sheehan in the town of West Bloomfield. What's wild and woolly in West Bloomfield, besides Tim?
Well, we had a wonderful rainstorm yesterday. That was kind of wild. It put the damper on our cruise night over in Hamlet and Mendon at the Ice Scoop. But we'll do it again next month instead. We've been pretty busy out here. At our recent town board meeting, we seem to have settled our controversy in regards to these share the road signs. We talked about a horse and buggy sign. We talked about slow moving vehicle signs. We talked about tractor signs and so on and so forth. And maybe I mentioned it before, maybe I didn't. We have had several motor vehicle accidents with tractors and implements. We've got a couple farmers that have permanent disabilities because of that. We certainly take this seriously. We're getting some help from the county. The county's going to put 2 horse and buggy signs out for us at their expense. So that's kind of nice. We've reached out to the Ontario County Farm Bureau. They've come up with that share the road sign. And then we've looked into ordering a couple of share the road signs in the full glory metal shiny reflective legal sign, big yellow diamond. We're going to put those on some of the secondary roads because we do take this seriously. We understand the desires and the concerns of our residents. It poses a risk that's not normally there. And let's face it, there's a lot of distracted drivers out there. I see them drive by my auto shop and they're looking down. They're looking down at, I don't know, their lap. Texting, who knows, but nobody's paying attention. So anything that's going to help that is a blessing in my mind. So moving on, our community focus, we do produce a town-wide newsletter. We mail it out to rooftops here in our community. Here's the latest issue of the community focus. And we had a transition in the editorial staff of the focus. Our 2 longtime editors and organizers stepped down. And our new board member, Christy, and our town clerk, Brenda, have stepped up to the plate, and they've done a really nice job. They've included all of the organizations that we normally have. They've added some more information in there, which I find really helpful. We got a couple of bright spots now where we talk about our local fire departments and their members and some of their accolades. And I can't thank our local fire departments enough. I mean, there's a group of dedicated people, and we've been meeting with those fire departments on some other issues. And I've known most of these guys for 25 or more years. I'm personal friends with probably 90% of the firemen in our community. I have a background as an honorary fireman in an adjacent community. They deserve our respect. They deserve our support. Our town board put forth a resolution, which we're going to send up to the Assembly and the Senate with a little hope that maybe they will consider a tax break for these fire personnel, maybe get a break on their property taxes because of their dedication and the time they spend and they serve and how they put themselves out in front to help our community and protect our community. So I'm thrilled about that article in the Focus. There's 2 of them. There's some nice information about both of our companies here in our town. Our town does also utilize Honeoye Falls. They service very well in the North Bloomfield area. So I don't want to shortchange Honeoye Falls and their personnel. Moving on from that, the fire district. We've noticed quite a bit of lack of participation in the fire departments, low numbers of people coming and volunteering. I've learned that quite a few of these fire department members are generational. It's the kids, the grandkids of members that have been in the fire service for years. Hats off to those people that they feel the calling. But I think some of us has failed. We failed to remind our children that community service is really a vital aspect of us as citizens in this great country of ours. Um, I've learned to lead by example. I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. I do quite a bit of a community service, and I do it because it's the right thing to do. It gives me a good feeling to do it. I am a people person. I'm not afraid to go out there and mingle and talk and see what's going on. I think that's one of the reasons I'm where I am right now. But young people, you wouldn't have some of the nice things if it weren't for people that came before me that did those nice things for me and me doing those nice things for you. So I hope when it's your turn, you realize that we are what make a community a place worth being part of. It's those people who give back, find some time, and do some stuff. And I'm not trying to break my arm here, pat myself on the back. I'd like to pat everyone on the back that I see out there doing those nice things and volunteering and stepping up to the plate. Anyhow, quit boring you with that story and all that jazz. Our building department, we now have a dedicated clerk in our building department. Mr. Rick Albert, great guy, local guy, hometown, born and bred. Years of contracting experience here and in the surrounding communities. I've known Rick for over 25 years. Super fellow. I consider him a good friend. Rick's just what we want in the building department. He's a soft touch. He's a nice guy. He's laid back, and he's smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows the trades. He's looking out for our people's best interest in that department, and we're hopeful that he's going to transition into a permanent position here coming up. We're reviewing applications for a full-time code officer, and Rick is amongst those applicants. And we're just kind of waiting to see what comes in, and we're going to sit down and review things. And with a little luck, we're going to move ahead with a full-time code enforcement officer. We've needed that for a long time. I'd like to say thank you to Assemblywoman Andrea Bailey. Andrea Bailey came out and met with me here at the town hall. We had a nice conversation. I've talked to her briefly in the past. I haven't really had an opportunity to learn about her, learn about what she does, how she can help us here at the town. She is our 133rd district assembly person. She has an office down in Avon, and she was nice. She spent a couple hours here. We talked about a variety of things. She met some of the people here at the town. She extended her guidance and her assistance to us going forward as we need to get things higher up at the state level. So thank you, Andrea, for coming out. It was great to get to know more about you. Okay, my last thing I'm going to rag about, stuff left by the road. Come on, folks. You know that couch you put out there about 6 weeks ago? The garbage man didn't want it, and none of your neighbors wanted it either. So how about you drag it back into your yard, or you go chop it up into small pieces and you stuff it down into your garbage can? Because I've driven by the same dishwasher on one of our secondary roads now for about 4 weeks. I've driven by a houndstooth couch on one of our county roads for going on about 6 weeks. So let's tidy up the roadside. Let's get that stuff that nobody seems to want back off the edge of the road, and let's get it into the refuse stream. I'm not one to talk. I got about 9,000 cars parked around an auto repair shop, so I will do my best. How about you guys do your best? And with that, it's off to the rest of you fine gentlemen and ladies in the towns and the villages, and thank you, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Well, Rick Milne couldn't be with us today, but he did leave this message. Rick Milne, mayor of Honeoye Falls, says 2 great weeks of music at Harry Allen Park are in the books, and we appreciate our great sponsors and the nice group of attendees. This coming Tuesday, we'll enjoy the music of Chris and Corey. This past week, we also had another incredible musical performance by the Honeoye Falls Community Concert Band. It seemed like there were many who had the same idea on Saturday night, as the park was packed by those enjoying wonderful music. The Honeoye Falls Community Concert Band, directed by Lindsay Borden, is certainly a treasure in the community. We are continuing to work on the plans of the festival at the Falls on Saturday, August 15th, to take place on West Main Street between the Four Corners and Norton Street. Great crafts, music, food, and a lot of fun. We look forward to a wonderful festival. We also want to have a small America 250 celebration with an event at Fireman's Field on Friday, August 14th. We plan to have 2 food trucks, Pat's Pigs and Say Cheese Please, and are planning to have a band to enjoy. Along with that, we expect to have a large bonfire and then a great fireworks display by Young's Explosives. The fireworks will be set off from the Monroe Street Park with viewing and parking at the Fireman's Field. Congratulations to all of our students who have completed their school year, and our thanks to all our HFL teachers, staff, bus drivers, and to the administration that set a great tone for our children's educations. Best wishes to all our graduating seniors. Go forward and make your mark. That was from Rick Milne of Honeoye Falls. Now it's over to John Cates in Lima. What's Lima looking like, John?
Hey, good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good.
First, I'd like to take a moment to congratulate the HFL class of 2026. You likely think you've reached the finish line, but I promise the race has just begun. You can take that from all of us on this call with gray hair or, in some cases, no hair. No matter where life takes you, remember you'll always have a place that you can call home and a community that supports you. We have a lot of different events happening on the 4th this year, including the parade. There's a lot of events at Mark Tubbs Park starting at 11 o'clock. If I tried to list them all off, I'll probably get it wrong. And of course, the fireworks at night. And I want to make a special thanks to all the homes and businesses as you drive through the village that answered the call of putting up buntings and flags and decorating and really making the 250th special. We have a couple of project updates for everyone. Our Siemens project that is just about done. We have the solar panels got wrapped up this week on the library roof, and the ADA restrooms on the upstairs of Town Hall should be done by the end of the week. Water District 5, we're still waiting on comments and approvals from the different agencies that must approve it before we can send it out for an RFP. I know people have been patiently waiting, and you're just going to have to be a little more patient and wait just a hair longer. But that's just things that are outside of our control and outside of the engineer's control. State agencies move at their own speed, as we all know. We had a couple of new businesses come before the planning board for approval over recent months that will be located at or near the old GCC building. One is a homeschool-based learning center that offers various programs to homeschool children. Everything I think I heard them talk about, from physical education to like a building trades program that kids can come into and do that. And the other facility that'll be just north of there is a pickleball facility. That's right, pickleball's coming to Lima. And we look forward to seeing these businesses thrive. Finally, we're having a joint meeting with the village at our regularly scheduled night for the town board meeting on July 7th, and we hope to see you all there. Enjoy your 4th. Be safe. We don't need the fire or ambulance coming out. You know, they're going to be busy at the events. So be safe and celebrate the 250th anniversary of our great country. Thanks.
Thanks, John. And Joe, are you online here? Can we get you to pop in? And if we can't get Joe, then we are going to go directly to Steve. Do not pass go. Go directly to Steve. Steve, what's happening in Henrietta?
Well, happy to collect my $200. So our senior center update, the bids for the 2 expansions came in very high. That's largely thanks to the current national economic environment between tariffs and the oil prices, thanks to the Strait of Hormuz and all that. So we're working on ways to bring those costs down, as well as to find additional revenues, including the potential of naming rights. In order to be able to do both of the expansions, we're definitely going to expand the kitchen, but we'd love to be able to also expand the dining room because we've seen a lot more seniors in town. Update for the dog shelter. That project also had higher than expected construction costs. But we've been working on that for a while. We've been pursuing other grant opportunities to bring the cost down. The project is being split amongst 4 towns currently, possibly a 5th. We'll see. And that's just a way for us to cost share and all just operate out of the same municipal dog shelter. Originally, it was supposed to be done in early July, but HVAC delivery delays are going to push its completion date out about 6 weeks into early August. Update on the band shell. The main steel structure is complete. It's even been used a couple times. The new stage has been ordered, and the sewer and water lines run for the future restrooms that we're adding to the back of the structure. Those will also form the back of the stage. In the meantime, we'll put up a windscreen until we're able to finish that. But with a permanent stage, we'll be able to add a ramp, which will make the stage fully accessible. It'll also make it easier for the bands to get their gears up and onto the stage. We did receive a $150,000 contribution from Green Spark Solar towards the construction. So you'll see their name, their sign up on the structure. Concerts start on Friday, July 10th with Hello City, which is a Bare Naked Ladies tribute band, followed by Cold Front on July 17th, a classic and modern rock band. Those concerts, all the concerts, they run every Friday from July 10th to August 14th. They start at 6:30, from 6:30 to 8:30. The two new pedestrian bridges were recently installed at Veterans Memorial Park over Red Creek. One replaces a pedestrian bridge that was washed away during that massive rainstorm we had a while back. This new one is much sturdier and sits higher, so it would have to be a storm of biblical proportions to wash this one away. The other new bridge runs parallel to the main road bridge into the park, so that will allow us to separate foot traffic from vehicular traffic. That's especially important after the fireworks are complete at our 4th of July celebration, when tons of people are walking to their cars and other lots. At the same time, all the cars from the interior lots are trying to leave the park. So in the past, we've always had the risk of, the two rows of traffic intermingling. So now we'll be able to separate them. It'll be much safer. We put in temporary pass up to the bridge made of asphalt millings. After the 4th of July, we'll replace those with permanent concrete sidewalks, but we wouldn't have been able to get the sidewalks in prior to the 4th, so we put in the temporary ramps. Speaking of the 4th, activities begin at 4 p.m. with midway games, bounce houses, splash pads, water slides, and other entertainment, plus a wide selection of food vendors. The headliner Atlas Band begins at 7:45 p.m. and plays right up until the start of the fireworks, which launch at 9:45. We've added to the fireworks this year in recognition of the 250th anniversary of our nation, and are also doing a tribute for first responders in light of the upcoming 25th anniversary of 9/11. There's also a craft show and garage sale from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the senior center. So it's a full day of activities. Tim, I'll note that I'm happy to share with you what Henrietta has done with real property exemptions for volunteer firefighters and first responders. If you want to just send me an email, supervisor@henriettany.gov. And Chris, you don't have to redact that at all because that's out all over the place. So yeah, feel free to send me an email and I'll write back what we put in place because we agree with you. Anyone who volunteers to run towards danger when other people are running away, we think that they deserve a break on their property taxes. So fortunately, there is legislation in New York that enables towns to do that. So, and that's it.
All right.
I see
thanks,
Joe's
Steve.
on. So
It's over to Joe in Mendon. What's moving in Mendon, Joe?
Hi, Chris and everybody. This past Tuesday, I participated in the New York Association of Town Supervisors Roundtable. The meeting that day centered on the hurdles facing elected officials in the age of artificial intelligence. Some of the people you see sitting here today were in that meeting, and it was pretty interesting. Also, on Wednesday, I attended Monroe County Emergency Management Tabletop Exercise. This was part 2 of a training that Amy and I did with Monroe County. the idea is to be better prepared for any kind of an emergency that could hit us. We did a exercise where we walked through a severe flooding scenario, and we were asked to think through the possible preparations to be taken before the rain begins, as the floodwaters rise, and then steps on how to recover both physically and financially from the event. And it was really interesting training, and it really gets you thinking about what the responsibilities are before, during, and after an event like that. So it's good to stay up on that. A key reminder I'd love to give everybody, a good key takeaway I had from that is electric lines come down in storms, and those power lines can be very dangerous. The recommendation is to stay 30 feet away from them. And most people would have the sense to do that. And but here's the thing: the caveat here is our Genie or our power company can shut down the power to make those downlines safe. But people running generators can backfeed power into those lines. So even though the power's off, it is a possibility that power could be going to those lines. So always stay 30 feet away from them, and of course, call 911 to report them. We are looking at evaluating security systems in all of our town buildings and parks here. Kevin Junge, our buildings and grounds lead, he's gathering information for us to consider as we plan for next year's budget, and taking a look at all those security systems. Kevin and Riley have been busy upgrading and maintaining the basement here in Town Hall. They're doing a lot of duct work down there, and other cleaning and preparation work down there to keep the air that we breathe nice and fresh. They're making sure we've got fresh air going into the furnaces, and it's really a good job they're doing down there. Really grateful for that. Being next to the creek here, it's a beautiful setting, but it also requires a lot of maintenance. So being that close to the water. So thanks to Kevin and Riley for looking after us all here at Town Hall. Also asking the board to consider quotes so we can plan replacement for the steps at the community center. The stairs and railings there have seen better days, and we want to be sure to keep that entry and access safe for everybody. So I wanted to make sure people are aware of that we're on that. And the stairs are safe right at this time. We did a repair on the railings, and we are definitely planning on replacing those stairs. So another thing coming up, big thing is the village has its second zoning meeting coming up on July 6th at 7 p.m. I think it'll probably be at the high school auditorium again, but I'm not positive on that. I'm sure you'll be seeing notices on social media and various places to get updates on that meeting. And finally, our senior stretch class, the exercise classes, they took last week off because of pre-existing bookings, but we're back on track again. And starting June 30th, Tuesday, if you're a Mendon resident, age 55 or older, and you want to participate, please come down and to the community center on North Main Street at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Tuesdays or 11 a.m. Thursdays. And there's no fee. It's free to all residents. And that's all that's required to participate is signing your name and filling out a one-time waiver, and that's it. So drop by and see what the buzz is all about and the exercise class. That's all I have for this week.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Anybody else have anything to add? Seeing nothing, we'll thank everybody for being here, and thank you all for watching, and wish you all a very happy 250th, 4th of July coming up this week. Remember, our special edition for the 250th will be this coming August, so stay tuned on how you can participate in that. That's all we have for this week. Oh, I forgot to say, you can see this every Sunday at 1 o'clock on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Like the page, subscribe to the channel on those platforms. We'll notify you when this program begins. Otherwise, you can read the transcript in next week's paper. That's all for now. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Have a happy 4th.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.